Hi everyone and welcome to Tuttietalkssense and I am Tootie. Okay, y'all, let's discuss. So the last time I left off on episode 4, right? I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna get through this Harry and Meghan Netflix documentary, y'all. I'm gonna get through it. Okay. Now, first let me tell you what I've been doing, right? So the last couple of weeks my in-laws have been here. And we didn't have a good time. Celebrated Christmas, celebrated New Year's Eve. Last Friday, we went to, it was my sister-in-law birthday and one of their cousins' birthday. So we went to the bowling alley, did that with the kids and the family and the husband and his side of the family. Then Saturday, my husband threw one of his best friends a party here at the house. So, what that just boiled down to is I've been drinking. Watermelon. Yeah, so I've been having me a jolly good time. So I'm trying to get my friends to, get the confidence to come up here. Because at that party, it was like me and two of my friends that came. But we was the whole party. We was so loud. And our conversation is hilarious. But they don't want to get on camera. And as y'all can see, I still haven't had the time to do my hair. I still got the Candace Owens going on, okay? But I'm going to get better, y'all. And I said I was going to stop saying y'all so much, but I'm not. Because that's a Midwest thing and that's part of my dialect. So let's get on to this episode 5, right? Because we left off at episode 4. And it says, first person, that Meghan was the first person after Princess Diana to speak openly. But press made it seem like they were spoiled. And at that point that she knew that a change had to come. So that's where I left off on episode 4. Episode 4 of the last video. Go back and watch that. So episode 5 starts with Meg saying she always wanted a big family. Clear to media that Palace wasn't going to. It was clear to the media that the Palace wasn't going to protect. She saw that she was being thrown to the wolf. And she was being fed to the wolf. Then Meg goes and tells a story of her dad, and how they was close all her life. Dad starts doing interviews about Meg, then criticized royal family, and they wanted her to make him stop. I don't know how they gonna think that Meg gonna make her dad stop. This is a grown man. And I want to say grown amen. This is grown amen. How Meg, and she's the child, even though she's an adult, she's the child gonna make your daddy stop doing anything. So she reached out to the queen, and it was suggested that she write a letter. She reached out to the queen like, he's doing this. I don't know how to make him stop. What should I do? So the queen suggested she write a letter. She sent it to her business partner in LA. And yeah, every time I get to talk about that, I'll get the wedding. Like, I know you hear me. I know you hear me. So she reached out to the queen. It was suggested she write a letter. She sent it to her business partner in LA. They sent it to her dad, and she got the signature confirmation. And she knew it wasn't her dad's signature. Because when you can send off a letter, you can get confirmation for when the person receives the letter, they have to sign for it. And the signature is sent back to you. So she received the signature, and the signature, she's like, that's not my dad's signature. And then the letter was leaked. And Meg and Harry wanted to sue because, you can't go through personal mail. So the lawyers found out that there was a war against Meg, seeing evidence that there was negative briefing against Meg and Harry to suit other people's agenda. So in the previous episode, I was telling you that they pretty much, they didn't say it flat out, but it's a new Harry just did that interview with somebody, y'all. And he said what I thought that they was trying to. It was in between the lines. That's why I said in my first video, I said I can't wait till they do another one once that queen is gone, because Harry had held ties, and I felt like he didn't want to do too much to embarrass his grandma, because he already said he was close to his grandma, he was close to his mom, his granddad, and he was close to his mom. Never said he was close to his dad. So And when he go and telling stories, you can tell. And I said in the episode 4, he said in the episode 4, his dad and his brother had problems, and he felt like that it was their fault that his wife was getting attacked like that. Not so much of their fault, but they could have stopped it, and they chose not to. So when they wanted to sue, the lawyers came out and said that there was evidence that they've been putting out negative information against Meg. So in the previous episode, episode 4, Harry explained that the way that the press office works, like each family have a press office. The daddy got a press office. The son got a press office. I want to say his name is William. The son, the first son, William, he got a press office. Harry will have a press office. They all have separate press office. And then their press office talks to the press. They either confirm stories, deny stories. They'll sometimes send out leaks themselves, or the press will come to the press representative and say, hey, I got this story on Harry. You give me another story, then, you give me a story on William, then I won't want to run a story on Harry. And it'll be up to that person to get them a story on Harry. And that's what Harry feel like was going on. They'll come and be like, hey, I got this story on William or on William's wife, Kate. And we're going to run this story. You give me another story, then we won't run that story. And what they was doing was giving them stories about Meg. He ain't say that then. But that's, read between the lines. So, the lawyer got the evidence that it was negative briefing against Meg and Harry to suit other people's agenda. Meg became a scapegoat for the palace. They would feed media stories regardless if they were true or not, to avoid other less favorable stories being printed. It's a big no-no to sue the media, so the press was negative about it, and they left to get away from the media. And that's when it was reported that they wouldn't spend Christmas with the Queen. The getaway was amazing. They chose a home on an island with no media. So they was found, so they contacted the father to get a solution. They moved to Canada. That way they can show up for the Queen but not be in the paper. The royal family get the front pages. The royal family will get the front pages back, and they don't use public funding because the royal family would get the front pages back because of course Meg was still in the front page. Her name is Megan. I'm calling her Meg, y'all, like I know her. And so the royal family would get if they move to California, the royal family would get the front pages back. They won't lose the public funding because they say even if you lose 1% of public funding, if you use 1% of public funding, then the funds, they have a right to be all in your business. So, like I said, I'm reading from my paper. Y'all, I've been weeks since I watched this. I had wrote it all down and never recorded the video. So, what I was saying was that they had moved to, they want to move to Canada. That way they can still show the Queen support. But then they won't have to worry about them being in the front paper, Meghan still in the news and everything. And they're going to use their own fund, because if you use public funding, the media like, nah, you using public money, but you don't want the public in your business. Nah, we ain't doing that. So they feel like we was going to use their own money, live in Canada. That way we could still be there and support my grandma. They had Canada, New Zealand, and South Africa. So the Queen and the father, these are the 3 spots that they had in mind. So the Queen and the father signed off on them moving to South Africa. And if that don't work, then they would just give up the successor title. Nobody knew about this plan. And then it was leaked. So the plan was scrapped. So then they contacted the dad about Canada. He didn't want to put it in writing because what happened with Africa. But Dad said it had to be official. Then he contacted the Queen, his grandma, to say that they are on the way back and wanted to see her. She said, sure, I'm free all week. And then when they got on the plane, he was contacted and said, do not come see the Queen. She is busy all week. He calls Queen and the Queen says, yes, I didn't know I was busy, but I've been told I'm busy all week. Then the story was leaked about Canada and giving up titles, which let him know it was from the dead office, because the only person he had contacted was the queen and his dad. And his dad was like, no, you know, once they found out the story about Canada, once that was leaked, then he's like, okay, well, we'll move to South Africa. But he told the dad, I don't want to make it official. I don't want to put it in the ring because I don't want it leaked yet. But the dad was like, no, it had to be official. You got to put it down in writing. So when he put it down in writing, sent it to the dad, then all of a sudden it's leaked. So they put out a statement that they would be stepping back. The report said that they blindsided the queen, and that was a lie. Harry asked for a meeting, and he was denied. But when Meg left, they granted him permission, because Meg left and went back to, I want to say, Canada. Then they granted him permission to see the queen all of a sudden. At the meeting, he was given 5 options. He chose to have own job, but work in the support of the queen. His brother was screaming at him, and his father saying stuff that wasn't true, and Grandma sat there quietly. The meeting ended with no solution. The story came out that William bullied Meg and Harry out, and then a joint statement from William and Harry came out, but Harry didn't make the statement. So they put out this joint statement that, okay, because so first the story came out that the big brother was bullying him and Meg, which sounded like it was true. But then the palace put out a statement that supposed that came from William and Harry. But Harry was like, he never put out the statement. So they lied about that. They announced that they was leaving, and then the media blamed Meg. They investigate the couple received and found that most 70%. Oh, okay, they investigated the hate that was coming from for the couple, mostly from Meg. 70% of it was coming from a handful of accounts, not controlled by robots, but people. So they would say, like, most of those accounts, they said most of the time you receive all these comments and everything, like, Russia intervening with the election, like it'd be robots accounting stuff. They said, but when they investigated, they found out that 70% of these was not robot accounts. They was actually coming from people, but it was only a handful of people. That out of 114,000 tweets, it came from 83 accounts, but it reached 17 million people. The accounts created from middle-aged white women. That's what he said. The accounts was created from middle-aged white women. Karens. That's what they were trying to say. And her sister Samantha was part of the group. Remember the sister Samantha, who she had became close with the niece. They said they found the niece, and everyone in detail say that. Like I said, I believe some type of mental drug stuff, and she lost her kid. But they ain't what they said. I be making up my own stories, filling in lines and stuff and plots, because you can't just give me a story and just leave out details. Then I have to fill it in. So that's my own story. She probably on some drugs or mental health, got her kid taken, because the family said they found the girl. But when they found the niece, Meg and the niece became close. So this is in episode 3 or 4 that came out. So that sister was part of the group of the Karens who was creating accounts to bring negative media to Meg. So the main account was for money. The second account was about race. So they think first it was for money, second it was about race. Wait. Okay, yeah. So, first off, sorry for talking so fast. But I want to go ahead and get this out, since I said I was going to do a review on all 6 episodes. So I need to do it. And I'm trying to do this. Trying to record on my lunch and then run back to work, y'all. So I can knock this on now, get it out the way. Because it seems like more stuff is coming out. Then I think they got a whole new documentary coming out. So let me finish up this episode 5. So they said the main account was for money, and they think secondly it was about race. So the last day at the palace. They seen a family and family was distant regardless of how had looked on TV. Meg tried so hard to be accepted, but nothing was good enough. She tried so hard to be accepted by the royal family, but she felt like nothing was good enough. Commonwealth, and then Prince Harry says that his family missed a big opportunity as far as being accepted and being diverse. So then they go and explain the demographics of the UK. So they said the Commonwealth is 2.5 billion, mainly black and brown people, and they connected with Meg. And the monarchy couldn't find the capacity to stand by her or fight for her. In 2021, Barbados replaced the Queen as head of state, making it more likely that other nations will follow. Harry says the royal family missed opportunity with his wife to globally connect around the world. In March 2021, they go back to Canada, and they are completely surrounded by the media. People showing up at their door, people jumping the fences. Meg is worried that the Queen will remove security, and Harry's like, no, never. Harry's like, no, never. They know all the hate and threats we receive, and sure, like they know all the hate and threats we receive. They would never do that. Sure enough, they gave them 3 weeks to find security. COVID hit with their location is exposed, and Canada was closing their borders. So all that was pretty much saying is that Meghan was worried that the Queen was going to pull their security because, at this point they had gave up their title, their position, and was moving to Canada. And Harry's like, no, there's no way. She know how much hate we're receiving. She know all the threats that we're receiving. People know our locations. We got people out in the yard, people trying to jump the fence. There's no way that my grandmother would ever do that to me. She may, the family may have issues, but they care whether or not I live or die now. Queen said F around, find out. And took that security, okay? She was like, Harry over there like Kanye West. Adidas would never drop me. And the Queen was Adidas, baby. Dropped them. Baby. And so then that COVID hit, their location was exposed. When COVID hit in 2020, everybody was closing their borders. So Canada was closing their borders. And so they was afraid because they're like, we're just here. They're pretty much sitting ducks. Everybody know where we live. We got all these people coming to the house. We have no security, and we have no way to get out this town out this country, out of Canada, because they're closing the borders. So that's how episode 5 ends. Stay tuned for my commentary for episode 6. Hopefully it'll be soon, y'all. All right, y'all. Have a good one. See you later.